Hey guys, what is up? My name is Megan and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, and welcome to today's video, which is one I'm super excited to be filming. It is my self-destruct list for 2025. Self-destruct is a concept that was created from Becca at Becca in the Books. I will leave both her channel and video down below, but essentially if you're unfamiliar with the concept, it's essentially choosing a list of books that if you do not read in a certain amount of time, you have to unhaul. Usually you unhaul them by like selling them, donating them, whatever you do with your books. I have done these in the past and have failed spectacularly, so most of those books have been unhauled, donated, whatever you want to call it. So this year we're doing things a little bit differently. The first thing is, usually I do my self-destructs in 6 months increments. This year we're doing a full 12 months and I'm picking one book for every month. These books are usually books that like have been lingering on my shelves that I don't really know if I want to read or not, but not this time. We are putting the stakes higher. These are all books that I have been wanting to read for a really long time but haven't picked up because like I'm scared I'm not gonna like them, or I'm just like waiting for the perfect time to read them. There is no such thing. So those are the kinds of books you can see on this list. And to make things a little bit more fun, I'm going to be wrapping up all the books, and you can expect a video series called the Self-Destruct series where I'm going to wrap up the 12 books at the end of this video, and every month we are going to have one episode where I unwrap a book and read it. I know some other people have done unwrap series. I will leave some videos down below. I just thought it'd be fun to get in on the like challenge because it's just so much more fun when things are unpredictable. The way this will work is I'll wrap them up. They will have a number 1 through 12, and then either with a spinner wheel or a random number generator, I will spin and pick the book that way, because obviously some books I'll be able to tell like what is what and I don't want to cheat. Also, this is Christmas wiener dogs. You can see my dog, her little flappy ear is a wiener dog. I'm obsessed with them, so we're going festive fun for the year. I can never have too many wiener dogs accessories. My blankets, everything is wiener dogged in this house. So I have 5 romance books, 5 middle grade books, and 2 other random books. I will put timestamps down below if you want to navigate only certain like genres. And without further ado, let's hop on in. The first book I have on my stack is more of a literary fiction, and that is The Last Family in England by Matt Haig. This is one I have put off because I'm afraid I'm going to be so sad while reading it, but I have been wanting to read this for a long time. This actually follows a Labrador named Prince, and he is basically the kind of dog who like takes his oath of being a dog and like protecting his family very seriously, and he has been doing so in this family. There's like, I think there's like two children with the parents, but things start to go very awry in the family. There's marital issues, there's just like teenager drama, mental health, everything is going awry, and this dog feels very overwhelmed by his pact to protect his family, and so he has to like do things differently in order to kind of piece his family back together. I think any book with dogs usually make me cry, but I have a feeling this one is going to be particularly heavy hitting for me. Matt Haig usually is, so like combo of those two things, I'm scared. But this I need to read, so it's getting wrapped. And the other book in my like other genre category is actually a thriller, and that is One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware. If you have been on my channel before in like the last 6 to 8 months, you would know I am slowly losing my love of thrillers, but this one is like the only one on my shelf that is calling to me now, so I thought it would be interesting to put it in this project, so I have like no choice but to eventually read this. This is the story of like 10 islanders who go on this island, and it's kind of like a it's like a TV show called One Perfect Couple. It's reality TV. It's like these 10 people have to survive on an island, but then someone takes it actually literally, and like power goes out and communication to everyone on like the actual mainland is cut off, and someone is taking this game very seriously. So 10 went on the island, but how many will come back is the question this thriller is trying to answer, and I think this is going to be really fun. I love isolated mystery books and just everything with the concept of like a reality TV, and yeah, sounds like a really fun time. So this is the other one in the other kind of genres that I am putting on the list. Then moving on to middle grade, the first I have is Orion Lost by Alistair Home. This is one I have had on my shelf for literal years now and have never unhauled, and I've been brutal with my unhauls in the past. The only reason I am hesitant to pick this up is because it's sci-fi, and now I know what a lot of people say, like it's middle grade sci-fi. It's not that intimidating, but sci-fi to me as a genre is kind of like the equivalent of horror. They are the two genres I stray away from, but I think middle grade is the perfect opportunity to like dip my toes into the jar. I don't know much more than there's like these kids on a ship and they have to like get everybody home. It's kind of like a sci-fi adventure, and I've heard great things from a lot of people, and I know a lot of you guys mentioned wanting to read this and wanting to know what I think of this book, so it's going on the list in hopes that it will push me to actually pick it up because I won't have a choice. Then I have Spellstone by Ross Montgomery. This is another middle grade book I've talked a lot about on my channel in the past year, about how I want to read it, how I'm excited for it, ever since I got it, I think like mid 2023, but I still haven't gotten to it. It hasn't been picked for any of my book club picks, so here we are adding it to this list. This is about a young girl named Evie who is very like regular. She doesn't really show off or is remarked in any way, but then she is recruited to the Order of Stone, which is like this magical order, and being unremarkable is going to be kind of like her superpower. And so evil comes back, and then Evie is like kind of like the chosen one, but not so. It's like a twist on the trope is what I'm trying to say. I'm really excited for this. It's not super long. It's just like 300 pages. I think this is going to be a fun time. Plus, it's a standalone, so we love that. Then another one I am shocked I haven't read is Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundle. This was supposed to be a Patreon buddy read. It kind of flopped, and then I just never picked it back up. This is the first book in a series. It's a beautiful copy, and it was like Waterstone's book of the year. I have heard so many people talk about this. I know it's like this boy who's swept away in this world of magic he didn't know existed, or something of the sorts. Yeah, he rescues a baby griffin, which like magical creatures, another world, like secret magic, all of those things really appeal to me. It's the first in a middle grade series. Next book comes out in 2025, I think like September 2025. So I really need to get to it, and I don't know why I've been putting it off. I guess I hope it doesn't like not meet my expectations, because I have great expectations for this one, so wrapped up it is. Then we have Tide Magic, The Many Faces of Itsa Fitz by Claire Harlow. This is again another first book in a series that I have tried to find like people to buddy read it with. I think I had suggested this for a book club. It did not work out, so I'm gonna stop waiting to buddy read this, and I'm just gonna read it on my own in order to review it for you guys. This one is about like this world where there's like magic in the water, and when the waves are like out and tide is low, things are good, but when the water is very high, people are being swept away in the waves, and then like the people in the town are like they're taken by monsters. But our main character does not want to believe that, because her father is among the missing who were like captured by the waves, and Itsa has this power where she can change her face, and so she goes on this journey to kind of like figure out what it is that is happening while using her powers to kind of keep her safe. So I am excited to see how this turns out. This is again the first in a series, and it sounds right up my alley. The last book on the list for middle grade is Peregrine Quinn and the Cosmic Realm by Ash Bond. This is one I had actually started reading. It was on page 74. I was listening to the audio, was really enjoying my time, but then I think I got swept away with like the Stormlight Archives, never picked it back up, which is very unfortunate. This is again, I believe, the first book in a series, and it's like Olympus theme, so it's like gods, and something goes awry in this world, and our main character kind of has to figure it out because like it's linked to her grandfather. It's a whole thing, but like I feel like Peregrine Quinn, from what I've read and what I've heard, very much compares to a lot of my favorite middle grade books like Amari and the Night Brothers and all of those like strong middle grade books. So like I know for a fact this is one I'm absolutely gonna love. It could probably make it on my like top middle grade ever list. But for that, I need to read it. So I thought it was a perfect opportunity to like put it on this list, because if I'm not going to read it in 2025, what am I even doing? So those were the middle grade books. Let's move on to romance. So romance has a lot of heavy hitters as well. Let's just get into it. I think this will be kind of a surprise. The first one I have on my list is Flawless by Elsie Silver. I have tried reading Elsie Silver, like wanting to read her books, like putting her books on my TBR, and have never gotten to a single one of them. I have never read Elsie Silver, and that just feels wrong to me. And there's just so much freaking hype in the Chestnut series. Like, I don't know what is in these books, but apparently it's like the best thing ever. So I need to like make a decision. Either I read this and then maybe fall head over heels with Elsie Silver, or I'm calling it quits, because like I don't think I've ever put an author on so many TBRs just to never have read any of their books. Like, something is wrong. I just know this is a cowboy romance. Everybody loves the series, and I hope I do too. Or if maybe not, like for the sake of limiting how many books I have on my TBR. Either way. Then one that I'm like super scared because like is from Lukov, With Love by Mariana Zapata. Mariana Zapata is the queen of slow burn. I read Luna and the Lie, which I feel like is one of her least popular ones. Was obsessed with it and haven't read anything from her since, though I have a lot of her books on my TBR. And so this is like a chunky romance, which is why they always put me off, but it's like a figure skating romance, and I've heard nothing but excellent raving reviews for this book. It's gotten special editions, it's gotten the royal treatment, but I haven't read it yet, so it's on the list. It's because it's chunky that I'm scared. But like, that being said, I read like 1,300 pages books this year. So what is a 600-page romance? Then we have The Pucking Wrong Number by C.R. Jane, which was one of my most like anticipated books. When I purchased it, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna love this, because it's kind of like the You Got Mail, where they are texting each other, but I don't think they know, and then this boy becomes obsessed with her, and he's a hockey player, and I think he's trying to like convince her to date. And I know the minute I crack this baby open and read it, I'm gonna become absolutely obsessed. Like, you will not hear me shut up about this book. So I thought, what a great opportunity to like vlog my time with this one. Also, it's the second book in a companion series, but no one cares. It has the best tropes. Then we have Throttled by Lauren Asher, which Throttled is one of like the most beloved series when it comes to Formula One. It's also a book I've had on my shelves for like literal years, like 2020. This was gifted to me by Emily from Emily Boucher back in 2020. I still haven't read it. And one of my like mentions in my series and everything, when if you guys saw my series I'm in the middle of, is like, I want to read more Lauren Asher. Granted, probably should have picked a book from the Billionaire Dreamland series, because that's the series I'm in the middle of, but Formula One season just came to an end, and this is going to be my fix until it starts again. So, and then the last is probably like the most underhyped book. I haven't seen anyone talk about it, and that is Star-Crossed Letters by Sarah Deham. This is, again, part of a companion series, and this is anonymous pen pals, secret crush, and a slow burn romance. And again, anonymous pen pals is one of my favorite things. Pen pals, roommates, friends to lovers are some of my favorite tropes. So this is gonna hit a lot of them. It's dual perspective, which is the best thing to be ever invented in a romance. So it's on the list because like I've been scared to read it because I don't want it to disappoint, because I've put so much hype on this book even though nobody has talked about it, and I thought it would be fun to read a romance and kind of review something that I haven't seen personally in all of the creators I watch, whether that be on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. So maybe it's super popular somewhere, it's just not in the creators I watch. those were the 12 books that are going to self-destruct at the end of 2025. If you have done this challenge, let me know what you picked down below. I'm so excited to get to this, you guys. So as I said, you can expect installments of the self-destruct every single month in the months of 2025. I've started planning out my content calendar. It's coming for you guys. I have never been more motivated with a stack, even though it's the biggest stack yet. But we can do the impossible in 12 months. I'm sure we can. Let me know down below also which book you're most excited for me to get to. Leave this emoji if you've made it this far, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye guys, happy reading.